So I've been thinking now with the last presentation, with all the things that we heard, with all the visions and all the awareness which is present in the room at the moment, how to proceed from this point. And my idea was to do it really practical, but at the same time feel that we need some more knowledge before we could proceed practically. I see something here which you cannot see because you don't know what I have here. What I will show to you just now. And I think that you can have a homework. That you take this, use what I will explain now, and put it into practice in your local teams. You will see how it works. And a question I will ask you first to set up the scene is to list your values. The values that are the basis of your life. So what you believe in, what is the main thing that you make your judgments, your decisions in life. What is the basis of your decisions? What are your values, in other words? So, do you have any values in life? Can you put them into words? If you can, I'm waiting.
Love.
We have one value here, love. Is there anybody against it? Love as a value in life? Life is a good value for life, basically. How can you live without? But it's a nice value. Appreciating life, cherishing life. Something else.
Compassion.
We are compassion. Who said it? You? Compassion. It's a very nice value. Be compassionate to others. Something else?
Devotion.
What?
Devotion.
Devotion. To be devoted to something. It's a very nice, maybe not sentiment, but inner state. Yeah, devotion. We are on a clean-up conference. Does it ring a bell?
Yeah. Passion.
What?
Passion.
Passion. Passion, yeah, it can be a good value. It can also be a big struggle. Some other value. Peace.
Responsibility.
Responsibility. Peace.
Trust.
Trust.
Simplicity.
Now we got it going. Sorry?
Simplicity.
Simplicity. Simplicity. Yeah.
Cooperation.
Cooperation.
Nature.
Nature.
Solidarity.
Solidarity.
Dignity.
Dignity.
Family.
Sorry?
Family.
Family.
Sustainability.
Success.
Success.
Purity.
Purity. Now we're getting close to our cleanup conference. Purity.
Ethics.
Ethics. It's a very nice word. Maybe three more. Maybe health. If I may say one.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Is there anybody here who doesn't like to be healthy?
Yeah.
Okay, health.
Beauty.
Oh.
Generous.
Everybody appreciates beauty. What?
Generous.
Generosity. Generosity. So this
Wealth.
Wealth. Oh, wealth. It can also be.
In all ways.
It can also be like.
Spiritual wealth, everything. Riches. Yeah, sure.
Okay, but it's a good thing. If I'm wealthy, then I can do good. It's not necessarily something abusive.
No, and wealth
Okay.
doesn't necessarily just mean money either.
Yeah. Somebody said, you know how wealthy you are if they take all of your money and all of your assets, and then you look inside and you feel how wealthy you feel. When you don't have anything, how wealthy I feel. So we just listed a few values, and now I'm going to ask you, is there anybody here who is against having a society that is based on those values? Would you like to have a society which is based, which radiates those values?
Hell yeah.
I see some smiles here. We
Hell
would love to
yeah.
have such a society. I mean, And then I will paraphrase this question. How can it be that we don't have such a society? If everybody would like to have it. If you go to people, 99% of the people would agree. I'm sure. Where is this, how's it called, the disconnection or the, the conflict?
Oh, yeah.
Something is wrong. And I wish this society had a button that you could press, like reset button. Maybe we should find it. And I will use this model that's in front of us now to point out at some things which can be used as a reset. And I will use project management terminology, which can be applied to anything from tying your shoe laces or cooking, making chapatis at home or cooking rice to cleaning up a country. So it's a model that can be applied to any size of enterprise. And here are some facts. Every project starts with the dream of one person or maybe a group. So it starts with an individual. We are starting with the horizontal dimension of the project. Every successful project occurs in an environment. So you cannot keep it to yourself. For it to become a project, you share it with somebody. Every project is thus an encounter between the self and the other. This is the first connection that is formed. You and somebody or something else. Even if you tie your shoelaces, you have to make a connection between yourself and your shoelaces in order to be successful in this endeavor. If you just look at your shoelaces, nothing will happen. So you have to make a connection. Oops. So it's self and the other. So if you imagine this circle is a project, you have individual on one side and environment on the other side. So in the beginning you put some input. If you don't put any effort into it, nothing will happen. Again, if you just sit and look, nothing will happen. And you will also gain something from the project. It's not something that, if you just invest, at one point you will stop. You can't do it anymore. You have to gain something from the project. And there's nothing wrong with it. So if you get some salary, some payment, there's nothing wrong with it. Environment also has to put some input. So you have to motivate the environment to do something. This is what we're actually trying to do. We're trying to get other people to be a part of this project. But the environment has to get something from it. They have to have a feeling. We are gaining something from the project. And this will motivate them to put even more into the project. So this is the starting thinking. And there is a barrier between you and the environment which is moving left and right. In the beginning, the whole project is you. So the barrier is on that side. You see, it's on that side. And it's mostly you investing energy. If the project is successful, you basically disappear from the project. Things are happening, and you're just looking. This is a successful project. And mostly, this boundary is moving left and right a little bit, depending on the stage on which you are on. Sometimes you need to put more effort, sometimes environment is putting effort into the project. So this is one of the dimensions of the project. And now we will add the vertical dimension. We have theory and we have practice. Again, you have inputs and outputs. You have to put theory in. The theory will also improve. So you can write a book about it and you can teach the others about the achievement. And the practice, you have to have practical input and you get also some practical results from it. You again get a barrier, a line in between, an interface. In the beginning it's just theory, it's again logical. You're just dreaming of it, you're thinking of it, you're making some plans, but you don't know how it will turn out. In the end, if you're successful, And when it becomes sustainable, if you create a sustainable project, it's basically run by itself. It's logical. It becomes something self-evident almost. People think, aha, this is what we do on the 5th of June. So if you become successful in Nepal, people will say, aha, it's 5th of June, let's go and clean. And now, this is the genius of this image, for me at least. You get the image of the brain. You have the right brain side, the left brain side, the front and the back. The right side is more individualistic, more about myself. The left side is more about outside world. You have the more theoretical part and the practical part. Right and left side brain. With the right hand, it's more practical, more intellectual, more rational. The left hand and the right brain side is more emotional, and so on. Did you take a photo?
Yeah. That's so going on Facebook.
So if you look at the process, it goes like this. You will understand why this is important when you come to the end. It's really genius. In the beginning, there's a lot of input. You have to put energy into it, and you have to learn a lot. This is the point about the theory, giving energy into it. Then, already you get some output in the second step. But there's a lot of input still being given in. And then gradually you get to a lot of results and celebration and fun and so on. This is the last step. I will go a bit faster than it's usually done because we don't have so much time. But basically, here comes the answer to the question, why did I actually ask you about the values in the beginning? It has something to do with the motivation, but in order to be able to feel any stimulus inside yourself, why am I doing it? Why am I actually active? You have to feel what your values are, what your inner inspiration is, what's in it for me, in other words. I know we all care about our society and about the world, the planet that we live on, but we also have to admit to ourselves, I'm in it also because I want something from it, and there's nothing wrong with it. It can be, I want to be recognized, and then people will say, oh, you're an ego, you're just egoistic, you want to earn some money. Admit it. Say it out. And then the group will either accept you or confront you with the falseness of your motivation. And you will grow through this. You will become more honest, more pristine. And you will be then more in touch with your genuine values, which we just spoke about. Sometimes we are sabotaging ourselves by doing things which are opposite to our values, aren't we? I can speak for myself in the first place. So you become more pristine. And if you are more pristine when you approach the outer society, the environment, you will be able to motivate them. And this is the threshold. The main ingredient for success in this scheme is listening. So when you go to somebody and you say, wow, we have a wonderful project, we're going to clean Nepal. And if they're like this, okay. If you listen to their body language, you will see that you haven't moved them. You didn't use the right words. So what we do usually, we say, look at them, they don't care. They don't care, they're just stupid, you know. They don't understand the problem of nature. The problem is actually you didn't express yourself well enough. So try to find different words when you approach them next time. And listen again, observe them, and see. If there is a sparkle of interest in their eye, then you try to paraphrase it a little bit and say, oh, I see, you're actually environmentally conscious by doing this thing, and I see you can add up to our project and we can also give you something. And they will open maybe a little more. I'm just making it up, but you can find some way of communicating it to motivate them. And this is the threshold, the what is that another word for threshold? You
Tipping
understand the
point.
word threshold?
Tipping point.
It's something you have to step over to enter a house or to reach a goal. And that's the basis for the action. Because you will motivate people and they will go to action. And it will be motivation from their own personality. It won't be coercing them or making them feel guilty. Well, you know, we have to take care of the environment because it's dirty. And then they feel, oh yeah, we have to take care of the environment. It's ugly, oh my God. It's not going after their conscience, it's going after their genuinity, so to say. And when they're active, in the end, go and give them a response, give them feedback. Go to them and say, wow, look at what we did together. Isn't it amazing? You took care of such a great part of our project and we are so grateful to you. And maybe you saw them say, oh my God, on a conference they said, oh, I really love chocolate. And you just give them Swiss chocolate or something, whatever. You know? And this is just for you. You wrap it nicely, you write something, some nice card on it. It doesn't need to be a golden trophy. It can be just a chocolate or like rasgulla, whatever. And they will be, oh my God, they heard me, they saw me as a person, they saw my values, and they appreciated me for this. You understand? And it takes a lot of listening and seeing, observing, and it doesn't take much effort if you observe, if you see things. And these are the crucial things in each of the steps, so that you understand how you begin. This is the beginning of your project now. The awareness part. It's, in the dragon dreaming process, it's called dreaming. And the claim is that our life as we live it is often less real than our dreams. When I go out on the streets in Kathmandu, it's not something I would like to see. But when I look at my dreams, I see something which is much more pleasant, much better for us. And I would like that to be in my reality. And this reality doesn't inspire me. Who is inspired by dirt on the street and by smoke in the air? Nobody. But still we accept it. I don't know why. I really don't know. I'm puzzled by it. And we are distracted by the situation and we don't step together to do something about it. So what we need? Understanding our intention. Basis of it is understanding our goals and our individual goals and our individual values, as I said, in relationships. So here we are building relationships. We are making connections with people. And this makes us stimulated individually. And in this way, we move to the second step. We go to the planning. And in order to plan, we need to understand many possibilities inside of the context where we live. I heard a lot of it here. When people say, this is Nepal, that's Europe, that's Hong Kong. We saw many contexts and we saw many possibilities. Some of possibilities we can copy from one place to another, some we can't. Understanding this allows us to make a good plan based on individual visions. And then we can move to action. People will think when we go to action we are going for some results in terms of some numbers, amounts of waste and so on in the cleanup. In the dragon dreaming concept it's mostly about people. It's not about outer goals. So you judge how successful you are by behaviors. You see how people behave. I really loved when you presented zero waste because you live what you teach. So your behavior speaks for itself. So if you get this in your team, that people are really behaving as they're representing their project as personalities, then you're really doing well. And the result of the project is not the pile of waste, it's the commitment. When people say, I'm a part of it, I'm proud of it because we are doing such a great project. Like I'm really proud to be a part of this project because it's such a great project. Why shouldn't I be? And the last part of the project is something that we often forget. Celebration. And I loved the cleanup as a festival. That's why I really wrote it here. Because we often forget to celebrate. And you have a celebration now in Hong Kong, Lisa, and that's a great way to round out the project. And you will award individuals and certain groups. That's the thing that I'm talking about. And in Dragon Dreaming, you create a path, many processes, many tasks, which then connect. And after each task, you celebrate. John Croft, the founder of this system, claims that 25% of the funds should be used for celebration, for awarding individually people, not just getting together and having a party, but sitting with somebody and saying, wow, how did you feel when you did that? Oh, that was really awesome what you did. You understand? Sometimes people even don't know what skills they learned, what great things happened to them. And when you speak to each other, you realize, oh my God, this thing happened, it was such an amazing thing. Or we had such a nice time on this cleanup, or we learned so much on this conference. So making people aware of what they actually went through is something that goes like as a celebration. Crucial here is feedback and satisfaction. So you judge the success of the project by how well the feedback loops are working. So are we learning from what we are doing? Or are we just working and not seeing what we're doing?
Yeah.
So you have to make feedback loops so that you're learning from what you're doing. And the final goal is satisfaction. You can see it on people's faces. It's not science fiction, high science. So in the first quadrant, you have to understand your awareness of the project. We have a lot of awareness now. We raised awareness of the whole group now in the last 2 days. And I saw that there is seeds of motivation. The last speech was just a good example of it. Who's going to do it on 5th of June? Yeah, we feel the motivation. So this is the threshold. If you make people motivated, then what will they do? The next logical step is, let's go out and learn what we're missing, learn who is there still that we can connect with. So this means gathering information. It means making lists. It means making databases. And based on these databases, you go to action only. And the next action is not going to clean immediately. The next action is, this is an important point. 90% of projects get stuck in the dream. We're sitting and saying, it would be so nice if we had clean Nepal. So then you go to action. And first action is theoretical. So we are still on the upper part. You make a plan. Why is this important? Because if you just go out and go to the government with your vision, which is just scribbled on a piece of paper, and say, look, Mr. President, this is what we are doing. It's a great plan. You will say, okay. It's just
He's also president.
but you understand the point. You don't go like that. You sit down, you filter things. The first thing is considering alternatives. When you gather all the information and you have databases done, then you think, how should we approach it? Maybe this is a good way. No, this is not good. Maybe you change it a little bit. And then, based on these considerations, you make a plan, a strategy. And this strategy, in Dragon Dreaming, it's called Kara Bird. It's a list of tasks. Inside of this, each task can be more tasks, but basically, everybody takes care of this task. And what is the meaning of the task? It's very simple. It is who does what by when. That's it. That's what you need to have written down. So if you are writing minutes, you always, it's good to have a task written. For example, Lisa will write notes by tomorrow evening, and she will send it on the email. This is a task. And if she doesn't do it, then somebody will call her. Lisa, why didn't you do it? You understand? That's how it works. The last part is test or trial pilot project. It means you design the strategy, and before you go really do it, you go to check it, to test it. One of the ways is go to some experts, ask them, what do you think about it? And they will say, maybe you made a mistake here, maybe you should add this, you forgot about the other thing. And you include it in, no, then you go back to considering alternatives, and you change your strategy based on their thinking. Or you go out and make a pilot cleanup, for example, and you see, we didn't estimate the amount of bags well enough. Our budget is not balanced because we forgot about this and that. You understand? So when you do this, again, 90% of the projects fail on this phase again, of the 10% which move on. So you're stuck in the plan. You get stuck in the plan, you don't go out actually to do it. And then when you go to do it, you have again 3 phases. Implementation, which means at one point you say, okay, now it goes for real. We go to the minister, we go to the president, we go to schools. Some of these things can be happening before as well. It's not linear in time. But philosophically or strategically, this is how it happens. And implementation should be supported by good management and administration. If you have a good office, 5 to 10 people, for example, in the office taking care of all the stuff which needs to be taken care of, all the papers, all the overviews of who is doing what, and delegating activities to people. This is very, very, very valuable. We had such a precious team in Slovenia. I'm really happy that such great people joined, and they did amazing work with sometimes with boring things, you know, answering emails, info email, you know, info at people asking sometimes really stupid questions. But then another person said, okay, we make from these questions and answers side, and all the main questions and answers were put there, so you don't need to answer. You just say, go to Q&A page and you get all the answers there. So this is one of the ways of simplifying things. The last thing is monitoring progress. Okay, I have to stress this. The second step in each quadrant is where the project makes it or breaks. Makes it or breaks, whatever. This is the threshold of the project, so that's why I also stress so much management and administration. And here is also the finance. So maybe you might notice financing is not in the first quadrant, because if you put the vision together well, if you make an excellent plan, and then when you start implementing it, one of the things will be also approaching partners. You don't go to them before you have a very, very good plan and before you have tested it. Then when you come, they will say, oh, that's interesting. If you come with an undeveloped plan, they will say, And really good plans attract money. So you don't need to worry about it. And if partners say, that's not interesting, reconsider the way you present your plan. Listen to them. You're not right and they're wrong. There is something in between. Monitoring progress means, like the easiest way to imagine it is an archive which reflects everything that's happened so far. So you can easily access it. Everybody who needs some information can get it. So it's good to monitor. We are taking photos, we are recording the conference. This is a way of monitoring what's happening. So it's easy to have an overview of what's happened. And again, 90% of the projects don't last for more than 3 years, because they forget the last step. And the last step is celebration. Maybe you will find it strange, these 3 things which are written here. But I mentioned it before. Awareness of the celebration quadrant is acquiring new skills. Each individual in the group shouldn't be just a clock doing a job. They should be there as an individual, improving in their skills, in their knowledge, whatever they are good at or they are eager to learn. You can have somebody who is, I would really love to learn something about it. Put him in a position, even if he's not skilled. And he will learn. I've seen people, as I said, I was totally ignorant about these topics 2 years ago. But then I learned because I was eager to learn. This eagerness accounts for more than any kind of expertise. And if people feel they are learning, they're growing, they will feel so happy because they're becoming more of what they are aiming for. So again, we get back to the values. My values are a part of my life. I'm living my life as I wish to live it. And this is the second step, results for individuals. If I feel what I just mentioned, then I will want to be a part of this project. I'm gaining the results just by being a part of it. I don't need to get some award. I remember how we worked in the cleanup in Slovenia. It was Saturday evening. I worked 72 hours in this week, from Monday to Saturday, for free, no money. And I got a phone call at 10 o'clock in the evening. Nara, we have a problem. We need to get the boxes to municipalities. So many municipalities didn't come to get. And I called my friend, Mircho. He was our Superman. Mircho, what do you think, what can we do? He said, I call you back in 10 minutes. He calls me back, I have 2 vans. We just need to pay for the petrol. I say, okay, I think I have some money left for the petrol. We go at 10:30, we get the vans. We sit in the vans. At 6 o'clock in the morning, we gather at our logistics center. We pack full of boxes, full van. And I drove to the northern part, he drove to the southern part. And I did 580 kilometers. Visited so many people. At 10 p.m. I came back to Ljubljana, to the capital, brought back the van, and but I wasn't tired.
No.
I was
So inspiring.
so I had 72 plus 14. It's 86-hour week. That's good. So the last thing in the last step in this celebration part is called judgment or discernment. Discernment is another word. There's a few words which are used in the last step. It's an ability to have an overview of everything that happened in a personal, in a humanistic way. It's not technical, so that I see how much we earned, but seeing the people, what happened. And this judgment or discernment part will take me to higher awareness. So, and higher awareness is what should happen in a successful project. So I know more about myself, about my environment, and my motivation is higher. So then when I continue, then we do clean Slovenia, clean the Balkan, clean the Mediterranean. This is this kind of way that happens. And you meet bigger challenges, but you're not discouraged because you're feeling empowered and encouraged. So if you put it all together, I'll just go quickly through. This is the whole image of dragon dreaming. The 4 quadrants which function in a circle, and then you get the spiral, upraising spiral. You can get this PowerPoint
Sure.
presentation also, you will get it. So. And if you want to evaluate your project, which you are doing, you can just draw it on the floor with somewhere where it's possible with a stick on the soil, make the 12 steps, and then ask the people to walk inside of it and say, okay, this is center, this is 0, and this is the outer part, this is 10. If you assess it from 0 to 10, where will you stand? How aware are we of our situation in what we are doing? Then you stand, for example, here, 6, 7. Then you step to motivation. I'm not motivated. It's 3. And then you get a star, kind of mandala. You can also draw it on a piece of paper. And when you put one piece over the other, you get a kind of image of how well you're doing in which sphere of the project. And sometimes you get really a spiral which goes down. It's not a good sign. If you get a spiral which goes up, it's usually a good sign. But it's a good assessment tool as well. And in the center, this is what happens with people. They feel empowered, they feel free, liberated from constraints of the society. They feel a human being because it's them. They're not a clog in the machine. They're not employed. You do this. They're doing what they're really eager to do. And something happens also between the people in the group. It's interdependence. It's not independence in the way, okay, I'm free now, but, no. And it's also not codependence. I depend on you. I have something, you need, you have something, I need, and we share it. This is what happens. This is the final result. And that's why I like this model. It's just a model. And if you take successful companies or NGOs and so on, and you assess them with this model, you will see why they're successful. Usually they have good dreams, good visions, formulated well, mission statement, for example. That belongs there. A mission statement and what's the other one?
Vision.
Vision statement. These things belong there. If you formulate them well, it will also help you draw a good plan, which is concise. You get very clear goals. As I said, in Slovenia, we had very clear goals, which were communicated very easily. And then you can go to very clear action also. People will understand what you're doing. And when you finish what you're doing, you will feel confident and you won't be afraid to celebrate. That's you and the service. So your homework now. These are the tasks that we came up with in the World Cafe session. Take a photo of it, put it down on paper, take these tasks, write them on small pieces of paper, and try to determine where they belong. If there is something missing, add what you feel is missing. If something can be grouped with other things, group it. If something is too vague, put it in 2 pieces. And in this way, you will get a list of tasks for each part of the project. And the best way how to write it is, if you can help me. Maybe somebody else can help me. I will just hold 4 pieces of paper so you get an image. You hold this. Okay, thank you. I have one more. So what you do then? Here you write everything that belongs to the vision, or put the papers on top. It's better to put the papers because sometimes you will move them. You will see, it doesn't belong here, it's better there. Like if you have funding, don't put it here, it's here. Even though it might seem, we need it in the beginning. No, you need it here only, okay? Here you put everything that seems like planning, that's involved in planning in the second step. Here you put everything that's belong in execution, which is mostly financing, managing, and administration. These things belong here. And in the end, everything that's connected with celebration. And then, when you have it put there, look for connections. Draw a circle here and a circle there. And look for connections so that you get from there to there. In this way, you make a game board. You're playing the game. You shouldn't have less than 15 or more than 45 tasks. If there is more, then it's too. You have among people you have lumpers, people who like to lump things together. So this all belongs together. And you have people who want to crumble things to pieces. No, we need to put more to make it more precise, more detailed. Look for the balance. And when you have the connections, then you know, when I finish this is a condition for moving on. And when you finish each and every task, tick it off or paint it in some nice color and celebrate in whatever way is appropriate. Something else is important here. If you have a line that's crossing from one page to the other or forward, it's usually a sign that something is missing. So you have something here, and it goes directly there. You need something here that connects it. You forgot about something. This is usually a sign. Something else? That's more or less it. If you have questions, you can also ask me, or I have lots of materials on Dragon Dreaming, so you can read them. Now when you heard it, it's basically like this with Dragon Dreaming. When you heard the presentation, it's easy to follow the materials. If you haven't heard it, then it's more difficult. But I hope you got it. I hope you got it. Okay. I think I have one more thing to say in the end. Very, very important thing. This is the last thing that I will stress. When you are putting your visions together as a team, forget about limitations. Forget about limitations, about boundaries. We want a clean country. This is our dream. Put it down, and then later, when you face limitations, you will quite often find a way around them. And if you don't find a way around it, then you will find some way to cope with it. So, open your mind, open your visions. Don't think about limitations in the beginning. That's how we actually break or destroy our projects. Because we immediately start by saying, oh, it can't be done. We want it, and we see it's the right thing to do. But we sabotage ourselves by saying, no, we can't do it because there's some obstacle which is too big. So I would really suggest, forget about it, make a vision, and then when you get to obstacles, you will see there's a way around them. We were also told so many obstacles would come and we won't find a way around them. We just found a way around it. And everybody supported us in the end. So it's not impossible. Okay, I think even if I forgot something, I said it more or less.
Can't wait till next year to hear all the success stories. 1 year from now, at the next one.
I would really love, I'm not rich, so I would love to go everywhere and maybe assist you in forming these models. But if there is a chance for me to go, I would really love to come. Because I know how much it helps if you have somebody to help you.